So in this first slide, we are going to talk about the amazing Musang King. So, Musang King is different than the other durians. It is the largest, the heaviest, and the most expensive durian. In this slide, we are going to talk about how does this durian named Musang King. So, long story short, there's a guy from Pahang called Tan Lai Fuk. He went to the Gua Musang, which is located in Kelantan. And then after he was there, he went back to Pahang by also carrying a tree branch. And the news were spread very quickly about this new breed. So after that, this durian is called Musang King. It is named after the Gua Musang. So for this slide, we are going to talk about the characteristics of the Musang King, which differs to the other durians. For the first picture, we could see that at the bottom of the durian, it has a star shaped. And for the second picture, we could see that the star-shaped colored is brown yellow, and the number of the thorns is not as much as the other sides. So for the thorns, it is way larger than the other normal durians, and it is shaped pyramid, and it's a lot sharper. So this is a ring to gap between the stem and the thorns. So for this slide, we're going to talk about the various health benefits of durians. First is your heart. The bloodstream could run to your heart very fast so that your heart pace will go to normal. And your blood pressure will also go normal. This is why it is very good for your cardiovascular health. For the second one, it helps you to lower down your cholesterol. So the people who have a high level of cholesterol could eat durian to help them lower down their cholesterol level. And the third one, it reduces the risk of cancer. So to reduce the percentage of us getting cancer, we could prevent it by eating durians. The fourth one is for your bones. So your bones could be strengthened and it could be healthier if you eat durians. And as a matter of fact, it prevents us from osteoporosis. For the fifth one, it is very good to energize ourselves, to strengthen our body, to dope our body so that it could be optimized. So from this slide, we're going to talk about why a company must understand and react to the external environments. So before we answer the previous question, we gotta know what is external environment. So external environment is an outside factor, outside your company, outside your business, that could that could give an impact to your business operation. That's why your business, your company, must act or react to keep up the flow of the operation. After that, there are types of external environment. There are macro and micro. So micro is basically inside your company, inside your business, that could directly get an impact that could get directly impact of the operation of a company. So if the company is doing good, then the direct impact that the micro environment will get the good impact. But if you get a bad operation on your company, the micro environment could get direct back impact. So there are 5 factors that could affect the micro environment. First of all, it's suppliers. If the suppliers don't send you anything to your business, then you don't have anything to sell. And for the customers, no customers, then you won't have a nice business. Marketing intermediaries are the people who distribute the products to the small retailers. And if there are no products to be distributed, then they will get a direct bad impact. Financiers is where the people who wants to start a business usually need a loan from the bank, and if the bank says no because of some reasons, then you cannot build your business. You cannot start your business. And lastly, public perceptions. Is your business have a good reputation towards the customers? What does the customer says about your business? It's like that. And the second one is macro environment. So basically macro is outside your company, so outside your business, so you don't have any control of it. It's very huge, it's very large community, so this macro environment actually have a very great influence towards your business or your company. So, to answer the question why a company must understand and react to the external environment, because first point is to keep your business ahead of your competitor, by meaning your business have to make a plan of how to defeat your competitors. Example, there are lots of brands who have their own competitors. They have those plans how to make their business still on track, and how to make their business could be ahead of their competitors. Also, by achieving this goal, you need to know what your consumer wants, what your consumer needs, and therefore you could actually have a very successful business. And second, to support the point one, you have to know the macro environment aspects. There are 7 of them: demographic, technological, socio-cultural, legal, economic, political, and environment. These aspects could actually lift up your business ahead, and it's very guaranteed that your business will be very successful.
Question number 2. What is the macro environments that may affect the expansion of Musang durian market in South Korea? There are 7 factors that may affect or may not. I'll be presenting for 3 factors. First, demographic environment. Demographic environment may affect the expansion of Musang durian market in South Korea because demography involves people, and people make up markets. Under demographic, there are population, size, gender, age, diversity, occupation, and more. In 2020, population of South Korea is more than 51 million, which is a large number to market Musang durian. The diversity of South Korea increased rapidly in the end of 20th century. Even before this, they lived with a cultural homogeneous, which is they lived with the same race and culture for a long time. This diversity opens up an opportunity for us to market a new culture, like our local fruit. We can market Musang durian as one of our culture. Furthermore, Musang durian are suitable for all gender, women, men, LGBT, and disabled, occupation, and also size. With the large number of population of South Korea, this may affect the expansion of Musang King market in South Korea. Secondly, technology environment. Technology environment also may affect the expansion because technology is the most dramatic force in changing marketplace. For additional information, South Korea ranked first in the world for 6 consecutive years in technology. This shows that South Korea can curb the freshness of taste and texture of Musang King durian. How? They can freeze the fruit in liquid nitrogen and storing them before they sold the durian. High technology allows us to not be worried about the freshness of Musang King durian because we can eat it with the full of freshness even it kept in a long time. Besides that, Musang King durian is not only can be eaten as a fruit, but we can also make Musang King durian as an ice cream and also cake. South Korean citizens can taste Musang King durian in their own preferred way and various. By using high technology, we can also market Musang King durian using e-commerce platform. For Malaysia, we have Shopee, Lazada, eBay, Alibaba, and more. For South Korea, they have gmarket.co.kr, 11th Street, auction.co.kr, and more. By using this platform, they can easily eat and taste the freshness and taste the fruit of themselves easily, wherever they are and whenever they want. Next, social culture. We think that social culture may not affect the expansion of Musang King market in South Korea, since social culture consists of institutions and the other forces that affect a society's basic value, perceptions, and behaviors. Generally, not all of the South Korean citizens are familiar and be exposed to the Musang King durian, since Musang King durian are not a part of their basic value in their life. For example, one of the variety shows in South Korea, named The Law of the Jungle, shows that they are not familiar with Musang King. In that show, they can't even open the Musang King durian with the right way. If Musang King durian marketed in South Korea, that may be difficult, as South Korea citizens are not used to it, and it may be difficult for them to adapt the new thing in their basic value of life. That is the reason why we think social culture may affect the expansion of Musang King market in South Korea.
Okay, so now I'm going to explain about legal factors in macro environment. Legal factors is the external factors which refers to how law affect the business operate and customer behave. Product transformation, profit margins, and viability of certain market are all examples of things that may influence by the legal factors. Okay, so now I want to highlight how legal factors may affect the expansion of durian Musang King in South Korea. So there is import procedures and rules regulation that must be followed. There is 7 procedures. First is import declaration. Import declaration can be done at the Korean Customs Service. It is the Custom Department of South Korea, which works under the Ministry of Strategy and Finance. Importers can make import declaration online using the electronic data interchange. It is the system of paperless clearance. Okay, the next procedure is the commercial invoice. Third one is certificate of origin. Fourth is packing list. Fifth is the bill of lading. Sixth is the certificate of inspection. Number 7 is the maritime insurance. Okay, so with no complication of the import procedures and rules and regulation, it means that legal factors may affect the expansion of durian Musang King in South Korea. Okay, next I'll be explaining about the economic factor. Economic factors that affect the consumer purchasing power and spending patterns. For instance, company should never export product before having examined how much people could be able to spend. And the South Korea economy, it is the highly developed mixed economy. It is the fourth largest GDP in the Asia and the 10th largest GDP in the world. So the criteria that a company need to examine is the GDP real growth rate, the GNI, the import duty taxes, the import duty rate and the sales tax, VAT, unemployment, inflation, disposable personal income and spending patterns. Okay, in diagram 1, it is the GDP of South Korea. GDP is equal to total expenditure of final service and goods, and GDP also is used to assess the health of the country economy. So, as you can see here, the gross domestic product in South Korea worth the value of 1,642.38 billion US dollar according to the official data from the World Bank and projection from Trading Economics. The GDP value of South Korea represents 1.37% of the world economy. So, in diagram 2, it shows the disposable personal income of South Korea. Disposable personal income is the amount of money that is household available to spend and also save after the income taxes has been accounted for. So, we can see here with the high GDP and disposable personal income in South Korea, I think this may affect the expansion of durian Musang King in South Korea.
My name is Rizka Aina binti Hilman, and I'm going to talk about the political factor that may affect the expansions of Musang King durian to South Korea. So, political factor is related with how and to what extent a government interferes in the economy. Political factor includes tax policy, trade restriction, tariff, and political stability. Since the establishment of the diplomatic relations in 1960, the Republic of Korea and Malaysia have taken tremendous strides forward in their cooperation. The bilateral ties between the Republic of Korea and Malaysia have developed into bonds of deep friendship, underpinned by the fact that Malaysia was Korea's 14th largest trade partner in 2018 and was Korea's 10th largest trade partner in 2019. At the regional level, Malaysia, through the Associations of Southeast Asian Nations, or we call it ASEAN, has established the ASEAN Free Trade Area. In addition to Malaysia, ASEAN's members include Brunei, Burma, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. Through ASEAN, Malaysia has Regional Free Trade Agreement or FTAs with South Korea. So what is FTA? FTA, a free trade agreement, is an international agreement between two or more countries to reduce or remove trade barriers and bring closer economic integration. The FTAs will make it easier for Malaysia to export Musang King durian to South Korea. And the benefits of FTAs is that FTA will offers lower or zero tariff or tariff concessions on exports and imports of goods and components assigned under the FTA. So this would make product or Musang King durians more competitive as compared to exports and imports from non-FTA partners countries. That's why it's important to know the political factor before exporting some goods such as Musang King in other countries. So that's all from me. Thank you. The other factor of macro environment is the environment factor. Environmental factors are the conditions such as weather, climate change, land, and pollution, which may especially influence the farming sectors, and for this case, Musang King durian. Malaysia experiences humid weather throughout the year. The average daily temperature across Malaysia is between 21 degrees Celsius and 32 degrees Celsius, while for South Korea divides neatly into four distinct seasons, which are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The different climate between Malaysia and South Korea make it hard for the plantations of Musang King in South Korea. This is because the durian tree is ultra-tropical, a native of Southeast Asian equatorial rainforest, and needs much tropical warmth and abundant moisture to thrive and grow. Therefore, it's not suitable to plant the durian tree in South Korea. The peak period of the durian season normally begins in June and continues until the end of August, but each region in Malaysia is having a different peak season. As you can see in the picture number 1, that was annual rainfall and the monsoons of West Malaysia. West Malaysia or Peninsular Malaysia has two fruiting seasons because durian is grown in a different localities affected by either the north, east or southwest monsoons or both. In the picture number 2, the durian growing areas in West Malaysia can be divided into three regions, influenced by the monsoons and the change from wet to dry weather and the effect of a dry spell. As you can see in the region 1 or north region, the smallest red square line covering the states of Perlis, Kedah, Penang and northern Perak, while region 2 or west, central and south region covering the states of southern Perak, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Malacca, Pahang and Johor. Region 3 is the east coast stretching from Kelantan in the north down south through Terengganu coastal regions of Pahang to Kota Tinggi in Johor. Moving on, the packaging of the durian can make into biodegradable packaging. Biodegradable packaging is a very promising alternative to plastic that helps alleviate the long-term issues presented by excessive plastic usage. This means they can be safely consumed, degrade quickly, easy to dispose, and often be created from waste plant products. It will decrease the amount of plastics that we use and reduce the pollution and climate change that contribute to global warming and other environmental issues. So that's all from me. Thank you.